What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Sorry if I'm breathing a lot in the microphone and I'm a bit rusty in terms of speaking. It's been a while since last time, and I'm not the best at speaking like in the microphone very well. I noticed that I breathe a lot in my other videos as well, so sorry for that. I also think I'm going to focus more on trying to upload more consistently instead of trying to make like super high quality videos, because otherwise I'll just find myself not posting for like 2 months. So, for example, here you can see I only made a sketch instead of like a fully shaded drawing, but at least it's still better than like uploading nothing for like 2 months. So, you know. Anyway, so for Celestials episode 10, DEATHGARDEN, we're going to continue where we left off last time. So if you remember last episode, the Hero Force, I mean the main cast, the leader team of the Hero Force, they protected the village from withering skeletons, and this episode would essentially continue on from that. Now, in terms of writing, I noticed that I struggle a bit to connect point A to point B. Now, these are obviously just concepts, so in reality, this could be a lot more detailed the way they do it in like actual TV shows when you watch people talk and like discuss the issues of the plot, right? But I think after some forensic research, the Hero Force would kind of stumble on the source of this these wither skeletons, and this would essentially be like a little side villain for this season that I think, yeah, that would only last like this episode. So I think the forensic research would be like reports around the country of like mysterious like undead skeletons appearing like out of gravestones, and like they would track down like what's going on and like the how the biology works and like where the sources are coming from. And these creatures are very aggressive. These are like undead skeletons, right? And essentially they would find the source, the Wither King, kind of like inspired from like the Wither from Minecraft, sort of. So if I actually drew something on screen, you should be able to see it, kind of. But he's supposed to be like this big, tall, like Wither skeleton that looks really like imposing, probably with like a big cape on his back, like sort of the ones like a king wears, with like the fur on the back. And maybe he would have like a crown, sort of like growing out of bone out of his skull or something, like a crown that's like growing out of his head. And maybe he would be like a little bit mutated and like still with like flesh hanging on his body. But essentially, this guy doesn't have too much lore, but he's kind of like this other dimensional being, sort of. I didn't fully think this side villain through. I sometimes just get ideas for new characters and little side plots, but then I don't really think the ideas through. So if you have like maybe like a cool origin story, that'd be an interesting idea. You could leave in the comments, right? But so essentially, big scary Wither King, and his abilities is that he can sort of like create like a storm that decays everything and like turns everything into undead things. Um, and so, because these creatures are very aggressive, they would kind of eventually find them, and they would get very close to like the location of the Hero Force, kind of. Not like right at their doorstep, but they would kind of like plan attacks and stuff. And this Wither King would be very like intimidating. He would also kind of talk like the Lich from Adventure Time.
Fall. There is only darkness for you, and only death for your people.
Yeah, he's kind of inspired off of the Lich from Adventure Time, because he like wants to decay and destroy everything. Pretty simple. And essentially, in this episode, we would start the fairly quickly with the action. I'm trying to sometimes make episodes that have a bit more story, but most of it right now is just action. And Air Force and Inferno would have to combine their powers kind of to ward off the Wither Storm. Minecraft reference. um, so in case you forgot, a quick little reminder: the main cast of the show is like the best like lead the best heroes of each element, kind of. There's 6 of them, of the 10. I mean, you already know this, but it's like 2 months since I last made a video. So we have the main character Inferno, Air Force, Frost Knight, Shroom Smash, Noah Corrales and Rico Alcevero, essentially Weapon Master. You can always, in my previous video, I also recapped them in case you forgot, but you know who I'm talking about by now. So, Air Force would have to combine his air powers a lot in this fight with Inferno to essentially create blasts of heat and wind to, like I said, like burn down like all the flocks of like decaying mist and like storms of locusts and stuff from the River King. He would attack them with all kinds of like undead themed attacks, and he would kind of turn the terrain in like a giant death garden, hence the name of the episode. Everything would like decay and like get covered in like storms of locusts and like mist, and it would turn the area kind of in like into like a different atmosphere and like biome. It would almost be as if like he brings like another dimension to Earth, like he's like leaking a decaying world everywhere. So maybe he could like come from another dimension. That could be pretty cool. And there would probably be a lot of scary dialogue where he like threatens to decay all the heroes in the main cast and like trying to turn them into undead skeletons or something, and maybe they could keep the superpowers. And in this fight, Air Force would actually get injured. His shoulder would get badly injured by decay powers from the Wither King. But luckily, the Hero Force has access to healing crystals. In Celestials, there are lots of like magical crystals and technologies that help with these kinds of things. And healthcare is also more advanced in the Celestials universe, so they would luckily be able to heal this injury, but it would take some time. Um, like I said, I can't really give the full rundown of how exactly the fight would go. But like, imagine like an air and firebender battling off like a giant monster together. It would kind of look like that, and then the other heroes would also step in to fight off the horde, and they would generally have to keep a big distance from this creature because, like, kind of like Shigaraki from My Hero Academia, he can touch you to like decay you. So you would have to keep a distance from this guy. Um, yeah, I think this fight would go on for quite a while because you have to remember they're like fighting off a horde and they're like stuck in this very dangerous place. And then for the rest of the episode, I didn't really think this through, this episode, too much. I think they would just spend the rest of the episode tying more research about this scary demon Moloch they've been finding out more about. Yeah, like I said, I'm not too good at this, and I'm a bit rusty, but I think they would call in one of their best detectives that I haven't shown yet on screen. Essentially, there's this sort of light element creature that's very smart. And in the Celestials universe, there are like aliens and like fantasy creatures, a little bit like inspired of like Zelda and Skylanders, kind of that sort of theme. And this light creature is one of the like smartest detectives at the Hero Force who works together with the others to do research. And maybe they would just spend the rest of the episode trying to figure out more about Moloch and what the plan is. And I'm not gonna spoil too much because the next episode is also probably going to be more focused on the story, right? But I think this would just mainly be like a half action, half story episode. Like I said, I'm a bit rusty, so I hope you still enjoyed the IT. Sometimes I just yap a bit too much in my videos as well, so I hope all this talking doesn't annoy you. I personally, I'm not quite always sure if people actually enjoy watching my videos, or there are like certain aspects that are a bit off because I'm not like the best at making videos, like all the heavy breathing in the microphone and stuff like that. But yeah, thanks for the positive feedback, by the way. I was definitely a bit more inspired to make a new video because of that. And I just find these videos fun to make, but I'm not always sure what to make. And sometimes I'm just feeling a bit tired. But right now, I have a lot more free time. So yeah, I mean, I'll see if I make another video after this as well. And hopefully, I made a somewhat decent drawing to give you an idea of what this episode could look like. And yeah, I think that's it for the most part. If you like to see more concepts of hero characters as well, like that light creature I said, I can always make videos about those as well. And I did actually make a second channel to put gaming videos on. Not that it's really important or anything, But to make it less confusing, I thought it would be better if I want to make like a video game, a video about my favorite video game, for example. I could just put it on the gaming channel, so you get more art stuff on this channel. If you think that's a good idea, let me know. Yeah, I don't really have much else to talk about. I'm trying not to speak too much about my personal life, but yeah, the job market is a bit it's a bit hard sometimes. Um, yeah, that's about it. God bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye.